This meeting come to order. Call roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Here.
Commissioner Hightower,
Here.
Commissioner Webb,
Here.
Commissioner Goss,
Here.
and Mayor Butler.
Here. Minutes of the meeting in November 28th. Any addition or correction? If not, they will be approved. Now, let me see here. We've got two items on that. What was the, one was a special meeting?
Oh, there you go.
Public hearing and special.
Public hearing. Okay, the minutes of the public hearing then. Any addition or correction? If not, they will be approved. Okay, still more.
Two more.
Another 16,
Yeah, that was public hearing.
December 1st to December 6th.
Yeah. Okay. Public hearing, got that taken care of. Special meeting of December 1st. No addition or correction to be approved. December 6th was a meeting to discuss proposed vacation of part of Shane Lane. Any addition or correction to those minutes? If not, they will be approved. Now, representative from Azavar, discuss approved contract. Where?
We're out of here right now. Did you want to get the Boynton Street thing out of the way? Is this an appointment? I don't think Azabar is out there right now, are they?
Well, okay. Ron Ferguson, Chairman of the Boynton Street Center Board.
Good evening.
As you were so kind to expand our board a while back to 11 members, we now have 10, but we have a candidate for the last board membership, and that's Ms. Lisa Wilson, longtime resident of Marion. She works for Blue Cross Blue Shield. She
doesn't happen to be here tonight, does she?
Yes, she does.
I wondered if that wouldn't be her.
But that's your buddy Calvin's daughter. Stepdaughter. But she was very instrumental in our refurbishing the Willie Jones Park when the Kaboom folks came. Lisa was held a leading role in that, along with the corporate sponsor Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and we really appreciated that. But we are asking that you please approve her, and we highly recommend her for the 11th seat on the board of the Boynton Street Community.
Okay, so she would be filling a vacancy on the board at this time,
Yes,
and this would be a full term appointment.
a 3-year term, yes.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, what's your pleasure?
Jeez, I got abstained.
Oh, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Call roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Abstained, we're related, so.
To which one, Ron or Lisa?
Please.
Well, you're lucky.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Congratulations, young lady, and I know you'll show them what they need to be doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
A
Ron.
roller girl, too.
She's a what?
She's a roller girl.
Okay,
Oh, she's a roller girl?
ordinance. Ordinance 3161, vacating certain streets. Portion. How do we get the number of 3161?
3361.
It's a typo, I guess.
Yeah, it's a typo.
Oh, that's a typo.
33.
I was going to say, we're already up to 3,300. How do we get to,
Yeah,
we're going backwards.
she just checking you out.
Yeah, see if you were paying attention.
Pretty sharp, I didn't notice that.
Okay.
The ordinance itself says 3361.
All right. This would, that portion of Shane Lane lying north of the north right-of-way line of Hill Avenue to a point 297 feet north of the north said right-of-way line. Now, everybody knows where that is. Then, that portion of Artery Drive lying east of the east right-of-way line of Shane Lane to the west right-of-way line of Stanford Avenue. And, of course, all public utility easements are reserved. Having said that, what's your pleasure with respect to ordinance 3361?
I move we adopt ordinance 3361.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay. Ordinance 3362. This is dedication of the right-of-way of Stanford Avenue from Artery Drive to Shane Lane as shown in attached Exhibit A. Okay, this ordinance would approve that. What's your pleasure?
I move we adopt 3362.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, Chris, it looks to me like you've got a lot on your plate here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. All right. Good evening, Council, Mayor. Okay, shall I begin, or?
Oh, yeah, just
Okay,
hold
thank you.
forth.
Okay. We have got two part-time hire requests for Hub staff, including Logan Hunt. That 4A is Logan Hunt for part-time wellness attendant at $9 per hour on the wellness floor.
Is that a new hire?
That's a new hire.
Well, what I want to know is what is a body pump instructor?
Right. So the second one there, Melissa Oakley for body pump, it's a certified program that we have a contract with. It's a nationally certifying agency, Les Mills, and we teach body pump, body step, and that is,
What are we talking about?
we're talking,
Body pump?
yes.
Care to show us, Chris?
Well, I don't have the equipment for it, and I don't know if I could hold up to it, actually, but it basically is strength and cardiovascular class, including barbells and various,
Have to do any running?
no, there's no running in that one. Yeah.
I was wondering how you get a body pump while you're running, but, okay, what's your pleasure then with respect to these two?
I'll make a motion to approve the hiring of Logan Hunt for part-time wellness attendant and Melissa Oakley for part-time body pump
I'll
at
second.
the respective rates of pay.
I'll second that.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, what about the resignation of Aaron Perry?
So we've got a membership attendant who was previously approved at full-time, and she has decided to resign, and we have, I've accepted her resignation. She's in the member services, she's in the membership department, and so she has decided to resign and go elsewhere.
Okay, so, and she's going to be replaced now by Abby
Abby Shadowin's current staff person who is currently part-time, and she can take the majority of those hours and schedule an increase to 29 hours a week at her current rate, at the same rate.
Okay, how many hours a week was Perry working?
40 hours, non-exempt 40 hours.
I like that. 29 hours replacing 40. Keep that up.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I'll make the motion to accept the resignation of Aaron Perry as full-time membership attendant and make a motion to approve Abby Shadowns and as the replacement for Aaron Perry at 29 hours per week at her current rate of pay.
That's correct.
Okay, motion made.
Hang on. What was Aaron making?
She was at the same rate as everybody else in that full-time position. We had not increased that beyond the $9 for the full-time.
She's not doing that job at a lesser rate then?
No, the job description was the same for Aaron. We just had that as a full-time position
Okay.
at a set schedule. This will virtually be a set schedule, but it's fewer hours, and it's the same, really the same shift, but fewer days a week ultimately, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, motion second,
I second.
second call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay, what's this about Carly Williamson?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're losing, on a full-time basis, we're losing Carly Williamson. She's decided to resign her full-time sports and rec coordinator position. And so that was effective. She submitted that about a week ago, and that's effective December 16th. So,
Motion to accept the resignation.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, what's about Rashad
yeah,
Rucker?
Rashad Rucker, who had actually he's in a really good position relative to a sports and rec coordinator position, because during the leave of absence, maternity leave of absence of Carly, he took over the majority of those duties and did a great job on the football program, did a great job with basketball, and he's requesting approval for him in the full-time position to replace Carly Williamson in the sports and rec coordinator position.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay. We're getting a lot of Carly Williamson here.
Yeah, we certainly, she has agreed to, and thankfully so, to, if approved, to stay on to direct the volleyball program, which is in motion right now relative to the new season, and she has great expertise in that area. So I'm looking to get approval for that season at this time for a approximately 10-week period of time at 5 hours a week at what would basically constitute an instructor rate, the top end of an instructor rate at $20 an hour for those duties to oversee and follow through with the volleyball program as we enter that season.
Okay,
I'd make that motion.
Second.
call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay,
Okay.
One more.
One more, yes. One more item there that really has been needed for quite some time, and we've worked through office space issues. We have found a way to improve efficiency, staff efficiency with office space, a shared office space for a membership coordinator and facility rentals and cafe coordinator, a shared office in that respect, and an additional office space for, to improve the office space for a child watch coordinator. Fortunately, with this particular proposal, it won't take member space away. That's really a critical thing, and it will improve efficiency of our staff, of our full-time staff. So the bids that we have on there total, there's three portions of that actually, and that includes a small construction bid of a little bit over $5,600, an electrical bid at $2,400, just a bit over $2,400, and then furniture for two desk units, essentially for furniture.
How many bids did you have for this?
That was the only bid on electrical as well as the construction. There was one bid of each.
It wasn't big enough to really bid it out, and the electrical is the same person who did our master contract. So
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay,
I think that's it.
you got something else?
No, I don't, I believe.
Oh, well, good. I was afraid you were
That's-
going to go on.
It's plenty.
All right, well, we thank you much, Chris.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Council.
it.
Appreciate it very
That's
much.
good work. Okay,
yes.
who can tell us about the street name change out at Pyramid Park?
Well, actually, the street name change, we found that street, thanks to our city engineer, that the street Federal Way was never a dedicated city street. And Mayor, when this was discussed, I believe you said then, since it wasn't an official city street, the Park District could name it whatever they wanted to.
Yeah.
So,
we have been-
the Park District, so after that, Commissioner Reed, Park District Superintendent Reed had done a little more research after he had submitted an agenda item and found that it hadn't been a city street when the park was acquired, the land was acquired. And so they will be asking, in January, they'll come back, the board is going to ask the city to accept a dedication of the street after they name it.
After they change the name, then they want us to accept the
Yes.
street, is that?
But, yes, they were trying to get it so it would flow and be on our GIS system.
Now, does Beverbeck connect to whatever it is?
Yes.
Duncan swings around and meets Beverbeck.
Yeah, we got Duncan, then you got Beverbeck, and now,
Are we responsible for providing the street signs, though? I mean,
Well, we make our own street signs, don't we, John?
Yes, we do.
We will
oh,
at
yeah.
that time.
No, we won't argue about that,
I was just wondering.
Yeah.
no.
But you might explain why they want to do that, Gail, on this Pharaoh's Pyramid.
Go ahead, John.
I don't know all the particulars.
Well, they're creating a master disc golf course,
Pharaoh way thing, see.
and that would be, I didn't bring my notes.
Kind of a disc golf. You know, throw things away.
Okay,
Now,
Well-
now, when they come back in January, if we accept that dedication, then we accept the maintenance of that street, is that right?
sure, it'd be a city street.
Yeah, I mean, we already,
Matter is, for years,
We
the
already have.
city wanted to chip the street.
Yeah, we've been doing it, yeah.
We do it all the time anyhow.
And
Yeah.
sooner or later, the street commissioner will see that the street is blacktop.
Oh, of course.
Save
the-
save money over it.
Yeah, the Park
Now,
District is trying
They
to,
also have speed bumps in there too, is,
yes,
they
we've
get
had-
removed?
They've requested us to make it larger. They have.
Speed bump?
They have. They said that, but the gate, they say it doesn't slow anybody down. They've asked Doug, a couple of months ago if they could not make it just a little bit bigger. They really did. Said, well, it's not we don't own the street, but they did want it raised by
Well,
us.
if we don't own a street, they can put a 6-inch speed bump in there if they
But
want.
they wanted us to do it
And a
for them.
mechanic shop nearby.
yeah, definitely.
Well,
But the Park District
they-
has created a new disc golf course, which they hope is going to be a good attraction for
what
people
kind of a
coming.
golf course?
Disc golf. And I will let anybody else,
They got one over at Hickory Ridge.
it's Frisbee.
It's Frisbee golf.
Yeah, Frisbee golf.
Yeah, they got one.
Frisbee,
Yeah.
golf. What idiot dreamed that up? Gee whiz.
Somebody's making money off of it.
And there are idiots willing to pay money to play Frisbee golf. Holy
Is there
cow.
gonna be any charge, or have they said yet?
Yes.
Will there be charged to play it?
It's going to be
Well, of
tournament
course.
play.
Yeah, I understand that.
Gotta get tea time?
You know, they'll probably have tournaments and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since this is not a city street, the park board can name it whatever they want. Now, we can go along with whatever they're asking here, but we don't have any legal jurisdiction over that. And if they want to call it a screwball name, that's their privilege.
But then again, who said they're coming back in January asking for dedication?
Jeff Reed did. He said the board would be discussing it, and he anticipated coming back for dedication of the street to the city.
Well, does anyone have any objection to them
I
naming
don't.
that street
No.
Pharaoh's Way?
No.
Johnny, if we add a street, does our MFT go up a little bit or not? Is it based on mileage or do you know?
No, population.
Just population, so we don't.
We don't have any residents out there either.
Well, I said most of these using high school students.
Oh, yeah, it's just a
sure.
cut through, yeah.
You're right.
I lived up next to it for about 20 some odd
It's
years.
a
Yeah.
freeway.
Yeah, and when school gets out,
Well, and Marion residents leaving a sporting event, let's cut through the park there
through
and
the park.
now,
And I don't know if they still do, but in the past, they always, when winter came, they put gates up, shut it off, and nobody could get through.
But they quit that a few years ago.
yeah, and if we accept a dedication on it, we won't allow them to do that.
They better do what they want to do before they dedicate the street. We have no control over what they do between now and then. After it's dedicated, it's a city street, and we say what can and cannot be done.
Yes, sir. You hear that, Commissioner Gauss?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay, approval of regular council meeting dates for 2017, that is item 7. And is there any change from this year?
It's the same, it's the second and the fourth Monday, except I think for December.
Yeah.
You know, that's by state
December,
statute.
Christmas, let me find mine.
Christmas should be on a Monday next year.
Yes, Christmas is on
next year.
Monday.
Yeah.
And so our meeting, instead of being on Monday, next year will be on Tuesday.
Right.
26.
Just like our next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, December 27th, our next, this year.
No, it's 2 weeks from now. Okay, having said that, what's your pleasure with respect to ordinance?
I make a motion, we approve the specified meeting dates for 2017.
I'll second that.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, we'll go back to the first item. I believe we have a representative from Azavar. Go forth.
I'm sorry I was late. Mayor Butler, Commissioners, City Administrator West, City Attorney Green, residents. My name is Jason Peary. I'm the president of Azavar Government Solutions. And we certainly appreciate being on the Marion City Council agenda again this evening to discuss and potentially approve the Marion Azavar Audit Program agreement. I did some scrambling while you all were at dinner, and went and made some additional adjustments that I'll share with you. But certainly appreciate the interest and support by the commissioners, the staff, in continuing to look at the program and the benefits of returning every penny back to Marion, certainly in light of having to continue increasing other taxes such as the tax levy, and I certainly understand that the percentage only relates to a small amount. Having a solid understanding of tax levies, a small amount of total dollars per resident, but still, I understand the difficulty of being in the position as an elected official or as a staff member recommending to their elected officials that we need to increase revenues beyond what's on our books. So again, as of our Government Solutions is here to maximize the City of Marion's existing and potential revenues within those existing revenues. I have a number of documents I brought with me this evening. I understand that in your council packets, you had a copy of an agreement, and certainly I handed a copy to the treasurer, city administrator, and city attorney. And I'd like to be able to give each of the members of the council a copy. Is that all right, Mayor Butler?
Sure.
Okay.
Isn't that it?
Yeah, let's replace that, Commissioner Goss. Keep your old copy. You can see what some of the things we've changed. Commissioner Manella, thank you. Commissioner McDowell, can you pass that to
Thank you.
clerk, please? Thank you. Commissioners. Would anyone else? Does anyone else require a copy? Okay. I think I gave everyone else a copy, right? So what our staff did between the last time I saw you on October 24th, I believe it was, and subsequently, I received phone calls from either myself or members of our staff to follow up and work with you to address each of the concerns that you had, to address the city attorney's desired changes to the contract, and of course, as I very quickly made some changes on the advice of a couple, the city administrator and the mayor from late this afternoon and 5 o'clock, just before you headed to dinner, and I'll go through in a moment. City Attorney Green already noted a couple of formatting and wording inaccuracies or corrections that he'd already like me to make or make as of are to make, and therefore certainly any agreement I suggest that the approval is contingent on, your approval is contingent on the review and sign off by your city attorney, of course. So let me go through the changes that we've made. So we made an inventory based on the transcripts of, and there's this nice business called the Print Shop and the UPS store, both of which I've worked with in the last 3 hours. Print Shop is apparently moving to Marion proper in February. And if I may, Mayor, pass these out.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ross, thank you. And Butler, transcript of each meeting. Commissioner Bernal. I'd say the 24th on about, is that accurate?
I'll just hand, do I need to get these two back there?
10th and the 24th
Yeah,
should be.
I'll just hand her hers.
Two different.
Thank you.
Thank you. And clerk, Rick said be glad to provide you electronic copies.
Yeah.
Of those. And then, of course, course, so you don't have to do it all while we're sitting here tonight, I asked them to summarize the last meeting, because the last meeting on the 24th, I noted that all of the same questions that were asked on the 10th, when the mayor suggested or asked that someone from the audit team, rather than a local representative, come to the council meeting to explain further. Those questions were repeated on the 24th, so we extracted those questions and have them in this convenient crib sheet. I'm not necessarily. We've narrowed it down to this last 3 pages of issues, and I didn't include in there the issues where myself or our staff, our team of analysts followed up with each of you individually, and is that's accurate? Everyone did receive a follow-up call with questions. Is that everyone? Is everyone in agreement on that?
Repeat that.
Did everyone received a follow-up call from me or my staff? I know I had followed up with the mayor and city administrator, city attorney, so I want to make sure everyone received a follow-up call. We got everyone's issues noted. So on the advice of the mayor this evening, I did make a couple additional changes, and my colleague, a senior analyst at our firm who's been working closely with City Attorney Green and City Administrator West, and had a chance to speak today to Tom Fagan, one of our senior analysts. I did make a couple of additional changes, so I would like to walk through the changes that we've made. They may not be precisely as you'd like, so I would certainly look forward to and expect feedback, and hope that we can move forward with the Marion Asvar audit program, returning or recouping every penny the city is due, contingent on the sign-off of the agreement by the city attorney. So a number of the changes that were made were first in Section B. And Section B it mentions, and I noted that Steve, the city attorney, Green, did underline it and note and shake his head in a disagreeing way. So it looks like we may have to alter some language there again. Talking with our attorney, Steve, we'll do that. But effectively, the intent was to make sure it's very clear at the bottom 2 lines in 1.1b on the first page, that only wherein the city makes an ordinance change or a change is a finding compensable under Section 3.
But your language under Section 3 did not change, and it specifically says that it is compensable.
Okay, so we'll work with you to update that, Steve, to your satisfaction, such that the council approves the program overall. The next change that we made was in Section I. I know that you've discussed the program and heard about the Asvar municipal audit program from various representatives from our company and local representatives, but we stipulate here in Section 11I specifically that myself will be Marion's personal project and account manager, and that Marion has the option to approve or disapprove, in writing of course, any Asvar consultants prior to providing services under this agreement. And I think that deals with any concerns of those that aren't, that don't have security authorization, those that may have done work on behalf of the city in the past, or those that may have a conflict of interest. The city certainly would have the option to disqualify those consultants prior to them providing any services under this agreement. Commissioner Goss, any questions?
No.
You'll see at the top of page 2, Section J, and this is one of those that I rushed to make this evening, and I think that's why I screwed up 5.2, Steve, by adding another section. It's not as skillful at that. However, effectively, what we are stating in Section J is, maybe some of the folks from the staff may be familiar with this. Commissioner Ranella, you might be familiar with the term, an air-gapped computer. Is anyone familiar with what an air-gapped computer is, Steve? Barely? No? What's your barely understanding?
It's a computer that basically has no other access into it other than the keyboard.
There you go. Absolutely correct. And further, we mentioned that it will be in a locked room in our facilities. So it will be, we will be storing, and I hear City Administrator West might have some modifications to clarify this, because I wrote this off the cuff after the suggestion in talking with the mayor, to alleviate any security concerns. But customer, which is Marion, so any water data, even though we don't want names yet, Commissioner Ranella, any water data, anything like that, any provider data, including Ameren, and I have one final printout to that effect. I certainly want to.
I guess my first question is going to be, in Steve's explanation of that air-gapped computer, then how does it receive its information from us into that computer? By disk?
Our staff would, our IT only administrator, so only an administrator that has the security to go into that locked facility. We could specify it as necessary down to every detail, Commissioner Ranella, in accordance with the industry standards.
What thumb drive are you using?
Typically, it wouldn't be a thumb drive.
That's what we were told.
Yeah, that's what our staff would typically use when working with you on site, and then upload it to our secure location. But we would effectively work out. We're committed to working out another way here, such that it is stored only on one object, one computer, and the work is done on that computer by those that have the appropriate security access. And our highest level security access is maintained by either an RSA key. If you're familiar with that, you usually have that with bank accounts, corporate bank accounts. It generates a number every time you log in as a new password, or a YubiKey, which you actually have to have a physical key. It's a physical looking key. It looks like a thumb drive, but it's not. It's a physical key that operates like the RSA key, but it actually is even more secure because it requires that person to physically hang on to it.
Taking the data from our system and putting it on our system, which is what our IT director was very concerned about.
Yeah, no, we're actually not putting it on a system. We're putting it on one computer that's not connected to any system.
But it's not our computers.
It's effectively one system.
Yeah. But it's not our system.
it's onto your system. Our analysts need to be able to do the specialized analysis that we do in accordance with the audit. But I did want to assure you that certainly in the audit statute you see here that was enacted in August of 2010, it specifically states that the city, nor as of our, as its agent, may request, let me pull you to the page number. If you go to, I'll say, cover page 1 and page 2, and you'll see actually at the bottom of page 1, it says in section B1, in an electronic format, and this is, so Ameren, for example, is covered under this portion of the statute. In an electronic format, the database used by the electricity deliverer to determine the amount due to the municipality, provided, however, that if the municipality has requested customer-specific billing usage and load shape data from an electricity deliverer that is an electric utility and has not provided the electric utility with the verifiable authorization required by Section 16-122 of the Public Utilities Act, which is signed authorization by every customer. Ameren doesn't have it, nor does Azavar, nor does Marion, and we're not going to be able to get it. So we're not going to get that customer-specific data because that's what Section 16-122 of the Public Utilities Act is referring to. Then the electric utility shall remove from the database all customer-specific billing, usage, and load shape data before providing it to the municipality. Okay? So individual customer rights and privacy are protected. We don't want that data. We don't ask for it. I provided City Attorney Green a copy, or our staff did. I believe Tom Fagan did. Mr. Green, a copy of our audit notice that specifically deters providers from providing any customer-specific data. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Thank you. And we operate under this audit statute, and I was sharing with the mayor that this is the statute, so these are the rules by which we are required, or the city is required, and we as the city's agent. So we must act and behave and perform ourselves in a professional and workmanlike fashion in accordance with our agreement under these rules, which I think deals with and I'm just double checking, I'm summarizing the main issues that arose, which were making sure the city doesn't pay for anything that the city, unless otherwise already authorized under your ordinances, the city does not want to, any finding the city that's recommended to the city that the city does not want to move forward on, making sure the city doesn't pay for that. So City Attorney Green says we need to modify some of the wording still, so we will do so in accordance with a follow-up conversation with him, such that you approve the audit program for Marion. A, B, ensuring that the city and its staff, so we did change section 1.2 to also mention that the city doesn't have to provide any facilities or space unless we mutually agree upon the number of consultants. We eliminated any references to any other sort of office supplies or costs to the city. We limited the city's time specifically to just being updated on the program and any findings or issues or monies returned to the city. And certainly if there are any monies to recover, a meeting with provider to recover those monies, the city, we believe, should be involved in that. So we want to deal with, second, the issue of not consuming city resources, especially time, since that's the most precious. We're here to return money, not spend money. And third, dealing with the customer privacy concerns, which we can describe further in Section J or otherwise, Commissioner Ranella. But I did want to demonstrate to you we are already lawfully bound, and there's other discussion in additional statute that has been amended over the last 2 sessions to say that now it's a felony and a $7,500 fine for each occurrence. So certainly we are disincented and dissuaded from taking any sort of action that would cause our staff or our company to be so charged with a felony or an individual or with those fines. So I hope I summarized the main key issues that I walked away with, but I did want to show you that we did document every single one, work to deal with every single one in the wording of the contract. And if we haven't to your satisfaction, we will make those modifications, subject to your approval of the program and the city attorney's sign-off of the agreement tonight.
Yeah, I think you fully addressed all the issues. I mean,
there is one issue I have a concern with, though, and that is Section 5. If you look at that.
That is definitely the sloppy one, too.
If you look, starting with the word third line customer.
And we significantly amended this, and we'll amend it further. If we need to delete it, we can.
Which part was that?
5.2, the entire section. Effectively, what, if I may explain momentarily, what as of our Government Solutions has been conducting audits for over 150 municipalities in Illinois for almost 10 years now, and we have identified specific patterns of what occurs, and we've heard from customers specifically what some of the things they want that save them more money and time and that would be more valuable to them than, say, our contingent fees. And in discussing with the city attorney, we said we would significantly scale this back. Effectively, our intent here is to provide to the city at no cost, with the exception of providing feedback to us. That's the only cost. So there would be some time if you used it. The beta test software that other communities are using to help visualize their sales taxes so that they can monitor future potential losses or downswings, so they can monitor further future economic development, so that they could verify or validate future development agreements and tax incentive programs for those developers based upon the retailers coming into those locations. So that municipalities have the ability to report on their telecommunications data, which has been a real big pain point across the state since those are decreasing significantly. Municipalities want to know what's going on which providers, why it's decreasing. So as a municipality, you have access to that data. We will make sure you get that data. That's part of the audit program. And now we've developed some reporting software so you can continue to see those trends into the future while you're forecasting and budgeting what you can count on, what you need to replace.
We have just
So,
spent a lot of money on new software, and I agree with Steve that this is not something the city needs to adopt because we have just trained our staff on new budget software, on new drill down software.
we'd be glad to eliminate it.
So what kind of
5.2.
contract would you keep?
How do we what?
What would you keep in here?
We'd eliminate 5.2. It's not, it is a beta program at our company. And so it is, the value there is the feedback to us. If the city is not interested in providing the feedback and reaping the benefits of it, then that's not the chief intent of this proposal or this agreement. But hopefully down the road, we'll be able to show that benefit, and it might be something the city be willing to revisit. Commissioner Ranella, have we addressed your concerns regarding security?
No.
What do we need to do to address your concerns?
I'll be honest with you, I got a problem with the thumb drive, and you're downloading our information from here. It's got to make a 5+ hour trip to Chicago. There's no security in that. It can be downloaded many times over, between here and there. And I expressed that at the very first time you was here, and I express it again. I have reservations about giving out our information to anybody for any reason. And I still stand opposed to it.
Which information?
All that information over in our water office, all of it, which is many. And I just, and you can't tell me people can't breach firewalls and stuff like that. It happens every day. I don't care how secure you are. There's somebody out there smarter than somebody else.
So it's happened to the city of Marion already?
We fight it every day. Do we not, Kim? Every day we address this and fight it. It's just not the city. It's the county. But we fight this every day. And to add something else to it,
It's that water data?
I just got a problem with it.
The water data?
Any of our city data, that's, and Terrence isn't here tonight to address it, but,
He said he could take a speakerphone conference.
but,
He's not in favor of any of it.
I mean, I don't know how much more he can address this. I mean, you guys have been in business for 10 years. You have 150 customers. Some of them are far larger than Marion. Now, you can't tell me that these municipalities are just risk averse. I mean,
We're moving in our 20th year as a technology company.
But you guys haven't had a single breach. I mean,
No.
Am I missing something? It seems like a no-brainer. I mean, it's...
Well, I did hear there was some lawsuits. In Peoria?
Lawsuits regarding what?
In Peoria?
What is a lawsuit that you heard about?
Company.
What is a lawsuit you heard about with our company?
I said I just heard about it.
Is there one or was there one?
No. Our company is not party to any lawsuit.
Was it a party to one?
No. We are an agent of the city of Peoria.
Is there a lawsuit involving Peoria and your services as an agent?
Not at all. No.
Was there one?
No.
I've got a question.
Regarding Ameren's ability to collect the city of Peoria's municipal utility taxes, feel free to pull the case file. Ameren v. City of Peoria, Peoria County.
This 1.1C, Here in the middle, it says, customer represents it's not engaged in any audit contemplated under this agreement shall therefore pay as of are the fees set forth in this agreement for any findings. Now, are findings the same as collecting money that is owed? In other words, you make findings, this says we got to pay you for the findings.
Findings and approved,
But
or recommendations and findings agreed to by the city. So we will update that, Mayor.
it just says findings. It doesn't say about the
It does say findings.
It just says findings.
It does just say findings. So we'd be glad to make this consistently clear. I think this is where City Attorney Green was heading at the end of Section B. Is that accurate? So we just need, and that's why I did see you make notes around there or about there, Attorney Green. So you agree that we need to, there's some places we need to make it what you amended and be clearer and more consistent through the document.
Right.
And then I was also concerned about 1.1D. As the bar shall require full access to customer records and provider records. Now, how are you going to require provider records?
We don't require them.
Why did
The Illinois State Legislature required them in 2010 and ongoing in the statute in front of you, Mayor Butler.
So then you make a demand that the provider provide you records concerning service in Marion.
That's correct. So, if
The customer will do that on behalf of them.
the Illinois Municipal Code, the Illinois Electricity Infrastructure Maintenance Fee Law, and the Illinois
What section are you talking about?
Tax for Bill of Rights. So we can start from the page 1 here. Municipal Tax Review, Request for Information, which is 35 LCS 645. And it's consistently hits each of the applicable laws with the same language. So the underlying text is what I've printed for you right after the cover page, Mayor Butler. So right there, the underlying text was added by Senator Althoff and agents of various utilities or lobbyists for various utilities or providers. The Illinois Municipal League was very active in this, a number of councils of government as well. Section A, a municipality may conduct an audit of fees under this act to determine the accuracy of the fees paid by an electricity deliverer, and then it goes to limit the amount of times that it can be done. So it allows for electronic audits, Commissioner Ranella, and the municipality, the information that may be requested by the municipality includes, without limitation, I'm reading at the bottom of B, 1, in an electronic format, the database used by the electricity deliverer to determine the amount due to the municipality, provided, however, that if the municipality has requested customer-specific, and I'm going to summarize, data, and the electric utility hasn't been provided a signed authorization by each customer, so that means, Commissioner Webb, you're a customer. If you haven't signed an authorization allowing the distribution to an agent or the municipality of your customer data, your billing data, your usage data, your load shape data, then it's excluded from any data provided by the electricity utility. So all that's left is
for the individual customer.
Correct. This is to identify, so this portion of the audit, I remember our audit is always looking high level. 2 things, Mayor. We're looking to make sure that everything within the corporate boundaries of Marion is properly that the City of Marion is properly receiving the tax for each and every serviceable location. And they differ by type of audit or type of utility. B and A, we look at the total amount of a computation. So how is the utility collecting the tax? So someone like, an electric utility will walk through with us and show us an example of how their systems are collecting the tax, and we'll look at that based on the data they provide to.
You're not saying that you're going to check and audit every individual customer. You're not saying that.
We are. That's the difference to audit. This isn't a full electronic audit. So what is being sampled here? What is being sampled is that data which the state legislature, in accordance with this statute and other modifications thereafter, has determined is available to the city of Marion and/or its agents, in this case, ASVAR, Government Solutions. And ASVAR would get every piece of data from each provider that is available to us as the city's agent under this statute, and we look and identify every single penny. So that is the enigma in Commissioner Ranella's concern about security, because we're using big data and technology that is current and available to identify each and every error and fix it going forward, so that the city of Marion gets each and every one of those pennies.
You said something about taking a sample a while ago. Do you go through every individual customer, or do you just take a sample of the customers?
So when I said we have an A and a B part of the audit, the statute doesn't allow us to see your usage, Mayor Butler, but the electric provider will give us sample bills, and they'll redact all the personal information, or cable provider, etc. And we will use that to confirm the computation data that they provide us in aggregate, which is provided to the city each month or quarter, which it receives a tax filing from any provider, same data. That is where we take a sampling, because the statute explicitly says we don't have permission. We can't get it unless we have permission. We don't go out to 14,000 or 12,000 households in Marion.
Permission from whom?
The customer. You.
Being the city?
No, you.
Individually?
Yes. We don't have your permission to look at how you use electricity. We don't have your permission to look at what pay-per-view movies you watch or what channels you subscribe to.
You're about getting the permission from 10,000 individual users.
We don't. We redact, we request all that information redacted, eliminated, removed from the equation. So effectively, we remove any threat if the data were to be breached, to eliminate Commissioner Ranella's concern.
What you're saying is you take a sample and you apply that across the board.
But there was a Senate bill, wasn't there, that dealt with the ability for you to have access, or third parties to have access to sensitive information that got voted down by the General Assembly?
Telecommunications tax data.
No.
And sales tax data.
Retail Occupation Tax Act.
Illinois Department of Revenue data.
Yeah.
I'd be glad to go into more detail about that in the future and why that's beneficial to the city. Because you're included as an agent, Steve. So you're in violation, or someone, if you have an outside accounting firm that comes in and does your audit, you do have an outside accounting firm that comes in and does your audit every year, they would be in violation if they saw any Department of Revenue data specific to a sales tax payer. So I do warn you now, the mayor's butt is on the line if anyone sees that sales tax data, other than the mayor or the chief executive.
Any employee of the city can see that information. The law specifically allows that.
The Department of Revenue is actually limiting that.
Yeah, they make us have the mayor sign a letter authorizing only me and Gail to look at that individual sales tax information.
That's why we've been working with the Illinois Municipal League, Councils of Government, including the Southern Illinois Mayors Association, to advance that bill forward. And John Bradley was one of those bill supporters from municipalities, Senator Hastings from the south suburbs, and a number of representatives throughout the state, but it didn't get to the House of Representatives because it needed one vote or two votes to get out of the Senate. And I think Senator Hastings has specified that he's going to bring it back again in session. He's very invested in local government, so.
So if you were to do an audit, would the audit only be into electrical, utilities, and any kind of telecommunications?
I don't blame you.
Not at all. All that again is explicitly unavailable to the city's agents or any other members of the city is the dollar amount remitted by each business to the Department of Revenue each month.
Okay, so what would you audit specifically? What would be the audit?
We'd be looking at both the aggregate amount that the city receives relative to from the Department of Revenue, because based upon the business code, we know what an average business should be generating in certain regions in Illinois,
So you
based on publicly available data.
intend to do a sales tax audit?
Absolutely not, and in accordance with the exact statute. We wouldn't be looking at any confidential data. Address data is not confidential. It's a list that's mailed to Clerk Ricks once a year, and then Clerk Ricks also does receive changes. Is that correct, from the Department of Revenue? Yeah. So all that's publicly available data, and if Commissioner Ranella would most be...
Your audit would be based upon conjecture as to what you think that business should be producing in income?
Not conjecture, but known historical data.
What, okay.
So-
What historical data would you be looking at?
There are databases which we license, Edgar Online, many stores come out with their same stores open more than a year, less than a year sales data, type of stores, et cetera. So we have, and that's the benefit to the software that we're offering in 5.2, because we're bringing all these third-party databases that have licensing fees of $50,000 to $100,000 a year to 150 municipalities. And we're asking them for feedback. Is this of value to you? What's the value? What would you change? What would you like to see in here? So none of that is out of line with the current statute.
Okay, I think we've had a
Well, I got one more question.
ample.
And I'd be glad, Commissioner Ranella, I was going to say, I think everything that we need is FOIA-able.
Okay, but let's say you do an audit finding, and we'll just use Ameren, and you find they owe us $1 million. Now, my relations with Ameren over the many, many years, I just know they're not going to open up that checkbook and write us $1 million check.
So,
Who goes about securing that monies for the city of Marion?
They have an ability to dispute any of the fees.
Absolutely.
Through the appeal process, and once that is exhausted, then either side can file a suit in circuit court to determine whether or not that fee is proper.
So,
and that's the suit that you were referencing in Peoria.
I don't know, I didn't know of that a long time.
I can't speak to anything other than there was a settlement, mutually agreed upon settlement reached between the provider and the city.
Okay.
And I can only speak to that in a number.
490-something thousand for Peoria and in excess of $3 million for O'Fallon, is that right?
I cannot speak to that, Commissioner, other than if you're looking at other publicly available data, but I'm bound by a confidentiality agreement to which, and the settlement agreement to which, we are going to maintain.
And you can get on the internet and it will tell you those figures.
The internet is good at telling lots of things. I can't tell you anything about this.
Here again, you know, ultimately, would we go to court or you go to court on our behalf to secure that money? So then, even though you have found this money, we're going to end up having to go to court to secure this money, and then have to obtain legal counsel to do that.
Azavar has legal counsel, that's not correct. Azavar has legal counsel that has handled those matters otherwise than city resources.
Okay, if there's no other question, I think
I was going to
a
offer,
full explanation and a full discussion of questions. That having been said, what is your pleasure with respect to approving a contingent fee professional services agreement with Azavar Audit Solutions?
I'll make that motion, that we accept them.
Motion made. Is there a second?
I think you have way too much information that's been provided here that is still not clear in its scope and content that we could take a vote on.
Well, I take it you're not seconding the motion.
Absolutely not, and you just pointed out 1 and C.
Yeah, okay. Is there a second? Okay. The motion dies for lack of a second. We appreciate
your time, Mayor, Commissioners. Certainly, if, as I mentioned, if the approval is subject to the review and sign off of the city attorney, we'd be glad to make those changes that I agreed to. So
we can advise you if that should come up.
Well, we appreciate you all entertaining the opportunity of this program, and we'll certainly be back in the future, and we look forward to seeing you at Southern Illinois Mayor Association.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You have something?
Yes, sir.
Come right up.
I'm a first timer, so I don't know what the procedure is.
It's very simple. Just speak into that microphone and tell us what you have in mind.
Good evening. My name is Byron Farthing, and I am a 5th generation of my family to call Marion home. 5th generation to use this fantastic facility on the corner over there, the Marion Cultural Civic Center, previously referred to as the Orpheum Theater, as my grandmother would have told me. My kids attend shows there. We're regulars there. We absolutely love it. I believe Josh Benson does a fantastic job putting shows together. However, about a month and a half ago, while I was sitting at the vault eating breakfast, I couldn't help but notice the marquee out there showing 2 naked men with either a top hat or a stuffed bunny covering their genitalia. And I thought, my goodness, this is the city of Marion's Cultural Civic Center, and I felt like it was inappropriate.
Well, no doubt about it, and this is the first I've heard of it. I don't know if anybody else saw it or not.
Well, my request is that you do like I did and spend 10 or 15 minutes looking on the internet, and it will not take you 10 minutes to find a list of reasons why you would probably think this show is inappropriate for the
heavens!
center.
You got 2 men naked except for a top hat and a walking stick hiding their genitalia. I don't need to get a list of anything. That is enough.
I have talked to Josh Benson about it, and Josh assured me that it was not a normal.
It doesn't matter if it's normal or not. You don't run that kind of nonsense on a city marquee.
Well, I appreciate your consideration in that matter, and I would appreciate it if the council or the mayor's office would take action.
Well, I
Is
can
this
assure
about some
you,
upcoming show?
February 14th. The show is called The Naked Magicians. And again, you can catch clips on YouTube, and it may be a hilarious show. It's not appropriate for the city of Marion to bring that show
well,
to the Civic Center.
I'm glad to hear this, because I wasn't aware that they were showing that kind of nonsense. And it reminds me of the show back in the old Civic Center. The director contracted for a mud wrestling program. Well, I thought, you get a little bit of a ring and you put mud in it, and then you got these wrestlers and they get up and they throw mud at each other, and they have a great time. Well, that was partially true, because the mud wrestlers were women. And about halfway through, I guess they started undoing the halter on their outfits so that everything hung out. I was embarrassed as I could be. There were a bunch of kids up in the balcony, and when they saw that, they all made a beeline down the stairs. They wanted to get as close to the stage as they could. Now, I was embarrassed, and I told the director at that time, one more incident of that and your butt is gone. He said, well, I didn't know that's the way it was going to be. And I said, well, it's up to you to know. And I think much the same thing about Josh. I can't imagine advertising the naked magician. Gee, money, Christmas.
As I walked up to this meeting this evening, I parked on this corner, and looking right over the top of the manger scene of baby Jesus was the marquee with the naked magicians. And
Well, I guess I haven't been paying enough attention to the marquee because I hadn't seen that. But I can assure you we will have a powwow with, maybe too late to do too much about it, because I'm sure they've signed a contract and they've probably paid some money down for the performance.
It can come off the marquee, though.
Oh, yeah, we can put a stop to that nonsense. I assure you we'll have a powwow tomorrow.
Thank you.
And we thank you.
Yes, sir.
See, good citizen, good citizen. That's great. Okay, this is a regular council meeting.
I need to pay some bills.
You want to pay the bills?
I make a motion to pay the bills, the monthly bills as funds become available.
I'll second that one.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
And Mayor Butler?
Hey, what else?
That's it.
Consent
No
agenda.
consent
No,
agenda?
no.
No.
Okay.
What's else he gonna do?
Angelo?
Don't have anything.
Jim?
Merry Christmas.
Well, this is the last regular meeting we'll have before Christmas, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes, that's what I say, Merry Christmas.
it is. It's the last one.
But don't send me any gifts, I don't need that.
Well, you know what they say.
No, don't say it.
It's more blessed to give than receive.
So what do you want me to give you?
Not anything that you would think about.
If we move to
Okay, having
adjourn,
said that, anybody else have anything? If not, motion is in order.
make that motion.
Second.
Adjourn.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay.